Why are you in the box if you think I'm a paid propagandist? Why do you support my stream if I'm a paid propagandist?
I don't support your stream. I just think it's
You're
hilarious
watching
that
right
you
now.
were in an echo chamber and that you're pushing false shit
So then you
to your
must agree with
people.
me. So you must agree
I
with
don't
me.
agree
If
with you.
it's
You say you back the science, right?
if it's an
You
echo
back
chamber,
science?
that must mean that you agree
No,
with me,
because
right?
I just like to. It's entertaining to me because it's ridiculous, and I got time to chill.
If it's an echo chamber, you must agree with
And
me.
I'm
You're saying
trolling.
you agree with me?
I don't agree with. I agree that it's an echo chamber and it's detrimental to the people that are following you.
How is it detrimental to the people who are following me?
Because you answer this. You say you follow the science, but you can't define what a woman is.
Yes, I can, and that's not even predicated off of science.
Okay, do it.
Yeah, it's an adult human that's committed towards the social and cultural norms that are typically associated with the female sex as a prescription of their identity.
Is that's really your definition?
Yes.
So you believe that? So is that's what you describe your mother as?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. So let me ask you this. So
Why
you're
is
all
that a
for
wow?
immigration.
Wow.
Well, you do stupid
He
shit
gave
too,
a
man. You do
definition,
that
and now I
voice.
have
You
no
practice
response.
really-
I'm
The funny
silent
thing
at the
is that-
definition.
I got a question. Why do I support Trump? Why does Trump support you?
What?
Why does Trump support you?
What are you talking about?
The irony in it. Why does he?
What do
You're
you
on
mean
his
by that?
W-2, aren't you? You're a
You think-
dependent, aren't you?
You think Trump funds me?
Trump supports you. What
How
are you
does
going to do when he's not out of office? What are you going to talk about?
I'm going to talk about Republicans and debate
Let me
Republicans.
ask you this. You make fun of people that do
Why do you support
research.
Vance?
Why do I
It'll
support who?
probably be why do you support Vance?
Let me ask you this. Do you back research? You like researching?
Yeah.
What's your little book that you put in front of your face? Yeah, why?
I'm trolling. It's
So
obviously it's whenever
I know
someone
it's a
doesn't
troll,
have a source.
obviously, but my point is why are you trolling someone when they say they do research and they say trust me? When you're doing the same thing though.
No, they're saying they don't have any source. Like when I pull out the trust me, bro, it means they don't actually have a source, so they're just saying trust me, bro.
Well, maybe they don't have it on the spot like you have a computer right in front of you. So let me ask you this. You support illegal immigration, correct?
Do you need a source for saying that I'm a paid
I don't need
propagandist?
a source on anything, actually.
You don't need a source on anything?
No, I mean,
If you don't need a source on anything, how about
because I have a
this?
lot of sources that show that the Democrats
So
agree with
actually,
Trump on
you're
deportation.
paid by the RNC. You're paid by the RNC.
I don't care about the
Ashley.
RNC.
You're paid by them. You're paid by
I'm
the
not paid
RNC
by
to come up on
anybody.
the stream. Yeah, you are. I don't need evidence. I remember I can
Damn,
just
look.
say things. I can just
That's
say things. I
fine.
don't need evidence.
Actually, I wish they would pay me. That'd be a nice little. That might be a nice little setup.
So I could say the same thing as you, right?
Hey, will you send me the info? Send me the links.
Well, I don't
Send me
know.
the connects.
Could you send me the links? I don't have these connects.
You have the connects, Parker. There's no way that
No,
you
I
sit
don't.
there all day pushing propaganda about Trump. Come on. So answer my question. You
I'm
support
not pushing
illegal
any
immigration.
propaganda. I'm not pushing any propaganda. I support people getting a pathway to citizenship if they haven't committed a violent crime or bad crime.
Okay, so whenever ICE is going after people that are committing crimes, and y'all are saying, "No, he's rounding up humans or rounding up citizens, rounding up people, whatever," it's not business when you're doing that. I'm
Over
asking you.
70% of people detained by ICE have no prior criminal
So
record.
why was it okay for Obama to do that though, and
I
expedite
disagree
it,
with
but
Obama
everything
doing
Trump
it.
does is horrible.
I disagree with Obama doing it. Trump's doing it at a higher rate, specifically in the particular on a yearly basis. Secondly, we can also point to the fact that Trump is violating due process to a greater extent because he's extended expedited removal, which is specifically made it applicable to everyone within the country, rather than specifically people that are within 100 miles of the border. Secondly, to people who specifically have been in the country to up to 2 years, whereas prior it was up to 2 weeks. So Trump has heavily extended, right, specifically expedited removal, therefore violating people's due process rights to a greater extent. But Obama!
Wow, that was a lot. Bro, you feel better? No, but Obama did it, and so did Hillary and all the other ones. All your Democratic little crew said that they support mass deportation and immigration. So why when Trump decides to speak on it, it's like, oh no way, I don't support it no more. Why did they change up? Why did they talk out of two sides of their asshole? Is my question.
Well, I also disagree with
They
Democrats.
have no policy.
They do. I also disagree with Democrats' policy on this to a certain extent because I believe in a broader scale of mass amnesty than Democrats in typical do. So because I believe in that broader scale of mass amnesty than Democrats typically do, that means that we're going to have a disagreement on that behalf. But I'm going to be closer to Democrats ideologically speaking than I'll be closer specifically to Trump because he violates due process to a greater extent and is deporting more people who have
He didn't
not committed a
violate
violent
due
crime and
process.
bad
He
crime.
followed the law. Like he listened to what the
He
Supreme
has not
Court
been
said.
following the
You're
law. He's been
lying about that.
undermining due process rights. That's a fact. He's extended expedited removal, which undermines people's due process rights.
Okay, well, he undermined my rights when he allowed the open border and everybody to flood the gates when
There
my
was no
tax
open
dollars
border.
don't pay for that.
Wait,
I
how
didn't
do you?
ask to pay for that when
I have a
I'm
question.
sweating, working
How do you?
hard, and blood,
How do you
sweat, and tears
identify?
over here to support
Hey,
my family.
how do you identify that there's an open border?
Parker, you weren't born. Well, maybe you were born yesterday because you're kind of young, but you're not that young. Come on, like be real. I mean, it's obvious. It was. There's multiple videos that were out there showing it. It's ridiculous that these are the moments that you could actually be genuine and say, you know what, maybe you're right. I don't like Trump. That's cool. That's valid. But how do you make people change their opinion? But you are not agreeing with anything at all. Can you say that
Oh,
Biden was in
you're just like, so you're just
cognitive
pleading with
decline?
me to agree with you? That's your argument?
I don't need you
Is,
to. No,
please
no.
agree with me that
Don't
there was an
misconstrue
open
my
border.
words.
Please just don't disagree
what
with
you do
that.
because
How are
you're
you going to
childish.
disagree with me? Stop.
I'm
Let me
asking
address
you,
this.
but I'm saying though, like
So
you
you
would
said
be more
videos.
genuine if you would
What
move
videos?
like that, though.
What particular
So
videos did you
I have all
watch
the
that
videos,
told you?
but you did this before and didn't let me send them to you because you're full of crap.
Okay, well, you could
I
send me.
can
Them.
also,
Tell me the
have
videos.
a video of Biden saying how he
Tell
would
me the
withdraw
videos.
out of Afghanistan the right way.
Ashley, tell me the videos.
I'm crashing out. What?
Tell me the videos. I'd love to address them.
The videos? No, it's pointless. Oh, so you want to know them really? Let me send them to you.
Yeah, just tell me the title. I'll find them. But like also
The videos
again,
of people. Well, it was on Instagram. How about I
no,
just send them because I got
no,
copies of them.
Just tell me in the concept in general. What can
The
be,
concept was you see they had
no,
people
listen,
coming through. What is the
listen,
name of that jungle?
listen,
BG?
listen fully. What can be shown in a video that
The
could
video is showing people
Listen.
coming to the border. I'm telling you right now, listen. They came over through, what'd you say? Yeah, so they came through, they came through the multiple ports of entry. They were using churches to nonprofits to fund illegal immigration, to support them with food and everything. And you're mad about, you want to support it, but then what, are you America first? Like you won't let them stay at your house. I bet money on it. And I bet you lock your doors at night. So it's okay. I bet. Did you lock your doors at night, by the way?
Of course I lock my doors at night. Now let me
Exactly.
address this without
So
you cutting me off.
why
Let
is
me
it-
address
why is
this
it
without
not
you
the
cutting me off.
border?
Can I address this without you cutting me off?
Go ahead,
Listen,
go ahead.
Listen, this is a horrible argument. Why is this a horrible
It's not a
argument?
horrible argument.
Because you believe in no borders between states. Yet that doesn't mean you believe people from different states can just walk into your house and that you don't lock your doors at night. You're being ridiculous, okay?
It's not being
I believe
ridiculous.
in,
It's a point that you would like to
let
see
me
who's at the
please
door
finish.
before you let them
Can I
in.
please
That's the
finish?
point.
Holy,
Go
can I
ahead.
please finish?
I'll be quiet. Go. Carry on.
I'm done playing with you to finish. I'm going to mute you next time you cut me off, okay?
Valid.
So, that is valid. So, again, in terms of this, I understand having rules and laws, particularly in terms of like a general process. And I want us to keep safer. I do want to deport people who have committed violent crimes and bad crimes. I'm not disputing that. People who are a threat to our safety and security. But I do not view my household the same as I view borders, right? The reason why I don't view it that way is because, right, we believe in open borders between states, but we do not believe people from other states should just be able to walk into our house with no restriction. No restriction for them to walk in between their state and my state, but there is a restriction for them to walk into my house, right? That's a ridiculous assertion to view it the same. So obviously we don't view it from that perspective. Same thing. Point would be is if you're viewing it in like it's like a house perspective, well then people who would be the owners of the house would be the citizens, and then any citizen would just be able to grant anyone in the country access to the country. So I don't think you view it that way as well.
It's not. You're wrong about that. No, that's not wrong. It's when you look through the blinds to see who's at your front door, you want to make sure that this person is whether maybe somebody you know. What are they doing? Why are they here? That's the same thing for the border, allowing anybody to enter it. They flooded it. Why?
So they didn't flood it. Let me address this. They didn't give like a certain process change that then led to the border being open. There were restrictions. There were deportations. The idea that it was a completely open border is ridiculous. Now, I don't think what you mean by open border is just that there was no restrictions. I think that you acknowledge that there were some restrictions. I think when you're saying open border, you're just saying there's a lot more people coming across the border. Well, if you look at the level of border crossings, at the very end of the Biden-Harris administration, comparative to the very end of the Trump administration, there was a greater level of border crossings on a daily average at the end of Trump's first administration, comparative to the end of Biden's administration. So then there was an open border at the end of Trump's administration, if that's your particular claim.
Yeah, but that's convenient when they're about to leave office. I mean, it's convenient. The point is the whole time they were in office, they allowed people to flood the country. Why? Do you want to know why I think that? Because they wanted to mess the census up so they could have more voters. Because their policies are that shit. to be honest.
So again, that's not.
Am I
even
wrong
law.
about that?
No, people wouldn't be able to vote that quickly.
I
No,
don't.
that's a
I don't.
ridiculous
I don't
assertion.
disagree with legal immigration. I think people
undocumented
should.
immigrants don't have the ability to vote.
Undocumented. You said it right.
Yes, undocumented immigrants do not have the ability to vote.
Bruh, like I talk to people that work in the DMV and they get licensed. That's full of crap. You know what they do when they do get their license? They check the box whether they want to vote or not. So you could say this or that. That's a true statement. So it's just crazy that like you won't acknowledge.
You can't qualify for voting unless you're a citizen.
All your little people are funny telling me, what do they say? Y'all are very smart. I'm proud of y'all.
You can't vote unless you're a citizen. That's just the reality.
Parker, how old are you, Parker?
23.
23. So you've experienced life. You know, you feel very experienced in life, and you think you know everything, correct?
No, I don't know everything, but I knew that point, and apparently you didn't.
But I've been I've been out in the real world, not behind a computer all my life. For about how long?
So
the point is like you act like you know everything, and I'm trying, and your people in the chat are. I'm not a Karen.
I've clarified that I don't know everything. I've clarified I don't know everything. You view me as why is it this way? That specifically people view that like I think that I know everything. I never made that claim. I specifically oftentimes don't talk about things that I don't know about. Okay? I acknowledge when I don't know something. I'm genuine about it. But the point is that you can't just assume because I'm younger that I'm wrong. Do you realize that that's not going to allow for productive dialogue? That's not going to allow for an engagement in this conversation. You're just saying you're right because you're older, as if we didn't know that you're older. That doesn't make you right just because you're older.
It doesn't make I'm right, but I've been through life and experienced things.
Okay, so Joe Biden could say the same thing to you. Joe Biden could say the same thing to you. And would Joe Biden be right then? No.
It's a little different when somebody's using Joe Biden as a puppet because they want to push. They want to do certain.
Respond to my point.
They want to do certain policies that aren't beneficial for the American people.
Just because Joe Biden's way older than you does not make him more right than you, right?
Joe Biden they use him as a puppet.
Can you address my point?
And that's actually kind of sad for Joe Biden.
Can you address my point without trying to like literally make it about something I didn't even talk about?
Yeah, because the point is that you haven't experienced life, and you think that where you get your info from, like all that is valid when there's that you don't understand life experience.
What does that even mean? Well, I don't. What life experience do I not understand?
And doing process of understanding.
What life experience do I not understand that would be relevant
because
specifically to this argument?
Because make it make sense how you think it's right that you think it's right to push a certain whatever message about this illegal immigration or undocumented people. The reason why SNAP benefits got cut is because they were getting SNAP benefits.
Undocumented immigrants.
The reason why is able bodies of Americans need to work. So that's what they did. They made cuts to those things, not to people that actually needed them. But you push a false rhetoric, and that's why I think you're paid.
That's not true. They changed the work requirements so that they could restrict people who are citizens who are on it from getting access to it. Nothing in the bill specifically says. That's what I just said. I just said that able bodies. Nothing in the bill says undocumented immigrants can get access to the bill or don't get access to it specifically in that connotation. That's nothing in that bill said that.
What do you think that? What do you think they did with those?
And then you said I'm a paid propagandist because I disagree with you.
I said that would be the only thing that makes sense. Otherwise, nothing else makes sense to me. That how can you sit there every day and lie?
I'm not lying.
But you really think that Kamala Harris had great policy for this country?
Yes.
Tell me what you stand for. I want to hear what you stand for. Maybe you can try to persuade me.
Yeah,
What do you stand for?
I stand for taking care of our community. I stand for specifically a more efficient government. I stand for getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse, which is perpetuated to a greater extent than by Donald Trump. I believe in fiscal responsibility. I believe in universal health care. I believe in taxing the rich. I believe in universal child care. I believe in ending absolute wars that we place around the entire world and specifically only support in defense in those contexts, right? I support funding and investing in specifically technology to make things cheaper for the everyday average American and for people around the entire world, as I think technology is the very basis specifically for increases specifically in economic growth and for bettering off the most amount of people as we possibly can, right? I believe in plenty of things, right? I believe that the government has a role to take care of the everyday average American and establish a baseline for everyone. And I believe that people can then build upon that after that point. But we have to establish a baseline for everyone.
Okay, I like baselines for everyone, but how does that happen when you have when you flood the country with mass immigration?
Well, I think that immigration...
Because what happens to the jobs for Americans?
So I have a few things here. I think
Okay.
that immigration leads to a benefit for the GDP and for our economy as a whole. I can send you a study from the National Bureau of Economic Research that indicates specifically that in higher scale of immigration in the past 20 years has led to specifically an increase in wages, an increase in employment for people who are already in the country, and an increase in GDP. The Congressional Budget Office estimated that the immigration surge under the Biden-Harris administration will lead to an $8.9 trillion increase in the GDP by 2034. Why is this important? Well, it's important because fertility rates in this country have been below replacement rates since the 1970s, mainly so since the 1970s, which is going to lead to a decrease in population, according to the Congressional Budget Office, by 2050, which means that we have a superpower in terms of immigration to increase the level of immigration so that we can continue to have a population increase. And also that's important because we're going to have a smaller amount of people who are younger, proportionally speaking, in terms of our system, to pay for the people who are older for a longer period of time because of increasing life expectancy for longer periods of time in terms of Social Security, Medicare, things like that. So that if we want to keep the same level of benefits, we have to ensure that we have more people in our country, specifically who are working, who can pay for that. So immigrants actually, they're not a net drain on us. They're a net benefit to help us take care of Americans. That's why it's America first.
So okay, so I'm for legal immigration, but why isn't the process, what's so bad with hindering the process as far as let me do some checks and balances before you enter the country so we are catching these people that have committed crimes?
I think the best way to incentivize that specifically to happen is by providing a pathway to citizenship for those that are already in the country who are undocumented, right, who have not committed a violent crime or bad crime, because it incentivizes those that have not committed crimes to go through the said legal process, and it gives law enforcement more time to focus on people who have committed violent crimes and bad crimes, and then for the legal process to make it go significantly quicker, to incentivize people to go through said legal process rather than specifically going through the process undocumented. That would ensure the most amount of people possible go through the process vetted, right, and get vetted. Because people who are already in our country undocumented, if you argue for your particular process, will just go further into the shadows rather than actually going through the process vetted.
Yeah, so whose fault is that though? That would have been Biden's fault because he could have did that, couldn't he have?
Well, no, because we have to rely on Congress to get bills like that passed. And they tried to get some sort of bill passed, even a conservative-leaning bill, and they wouldn't even pass that. So if they were to
because
pass
that bill
specific...
had some.
Go ahead.
That bill was a little. You know that bill wasn't completely right. They said that
You're talking
it
about the
wouldn't be
foreign
an issue where
the
they
foreign
would
funding? Is that you're going to bring
Oh,
up
yeah,
the
wait,
foreign
what are you talking
funding?
about? Are you talking about the bill for immigration?
Yeah, the bipartisan border bill. Are you going to bring up the foreign funding because they separated the bills
No.
between the border aspect?
I was going to bring up the 7,000 cutoff. That's
No,
a lot of people.
It wasn't
per day
7,000.
or something. It was 5,000 to 7,000 per day or something crazy. And that's a lot of people if you do the math.
Multiply that by 365. That's like 1.8 million.
You multiply by that's a lot of people
That's like 1.8
coming
million
into this
people.
country.
That's fine.
But coming in just where you're not vetting them.
That's less than 1% population growth. And
But
that's
my
not,
point
what do you
is
mean
vetting
that's not
them.
vetted? That is vetted, right? They're providing
okay.
a greater process to vet people. They were making the asylum process go quicker.
Why couldn't they do that when they had all three, though? That's my question. They had all three before all this, and they could have made whatever changes they
past
wanted.
the filibuster. So they rely on Republicans to get that passed.
It's always an excuse, I wonder. Interesting. It's
that's-
interesting.
that's why
I
the
like your.
Republic-
I appreciate you explaining it, though.
That's why the Republicans, even though they have the executive, even though they have the House, and even though they have the Senate, they can't open the government just by themselves. Right? They can't
Well, yeah, I
pass a CR
understand that
just by
because it
themselves
has
because
to
they have
be
to get
there.
past what? The filibuster. So you say, oh, they always have an explanation specifically
But
when
they
it's
did.
us, but
He
then like
could've, but he
whenever it's
don't.
yourself right now, you're not going to say that.
But he did. But there was a way he could have. It was an emergency, though. The border was an emergency, and he could. And Biden could have implemented that. It was a border emergency. It was a crisis at the border. Too many people were coming in at once. There's no way those border patrol were able to keep up with all that. There's no way they were vetted. And then you know what's interesting when we say follow the science, and you tell people to get the jab, but you have people flooding the country that are not getting the jab or being tested for COVID. So make that make sense. It's bullshit.
Well, I mean, I do believe that people should be tested and come into the country through the context of a system specifically to ensure that people can get access to adequate level of vaccinations as well, at the same level as citizens. But I mean, I don't think that is like a reason to say that like, Democrats at mass specifically should be held
Well, it is a
accountable
reason
for,
when
like, some Democrats had this particular position. I mean, I don't even
Okay,
think
let's
that.
just say this though, but they pushed a narrative that said, "Oh, you're bad if you don't get this. You're not helping, the fellow citizen to get the jab." It's a fear mongering. They fear monger to do this, to do that, and it's called conforming.
No, we're not fear mongering.
The Democratic Party, they fear monger.
We're saying people should
They
get
did push that.
vaccines. which is good. It's good that people should.
It's not good. What has it been good about it?
Well, the vaccine saved millions of lives.
So where did the flu go when when COVID came? Where did that went? He took a vacay?
So more people are specifically getting COVID. So when more people are getting COVID, and that's more transmissible, it's more likely that you're going to get COVID rather than getting the flu. So when people are sick, they stay at home. They're not spreading it as much, right? That's because they had COVID rather than getting the flu. Because the flu is less transmissible than COVID, we saw the COVID transmitting at a less rate. Plus, we also saw social distancing to a greater extent and the use of masks to a greater extent, which caused there to be a less of a spread of the flu as well. Because the flu is not only less transmissible, but it's also more likely to be blocked, particularly by the social distancing mechanisms.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I still don't think the jab was beneficial for anybody because it didn't stop the transmission. So what was the point of that? I thought it's supposed to be preventative. I thought that's what a vaccine is. My point is it's hard for me to believe anything that the Democrats say because I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Vaccines are preventative, but they don't necessarily 100% prevent it from happening.
But that's what was said though. And when you didn't do it, you were a bad person. When you didn't get it, they said that it stopped.
Yeah, you should get the vaccine. Yeah,
get your booster. And then 15,000 boosters. What are they supposed to do? Not stop it, or just it makes it less mild? My point is, that's my point. There comes a point where you have to rationalize and say, hey, why? Question why? Why are they doing this? How is it beneficial? And why is it always Trump's fault, but nobody else wants accountability?
No, we give accountability to others as well. So you
go ahead. So finish.
You think I'm like a lying paid propagandist? I don't think you actually believe that. I think you're just saying it at this point, just to like rage bait, like genuinely.
I'm not rage baiting. I'm just trying. It doesn't make sense, like really, that there's some things that you don't really.
That I disagree with you, like genuinely.
If you're smart, or you say you have some knowledge, or you think I don't say you think you're Mr. Know-it-all, but it's crazy to me. Well, actually, if you were, do you think you are? I didn't say you were. I just said you didn't have a lot of life experience. So to do critical thinking and rationalize versus what's just on the TV or in front of your computer, that's what I was saying. I'm not trying to say, oh, because I'm older, I'm wiser. No, I've had life experience. And it's funny to me that all the people in your comments.
I'm just going to tell the people people. I just turned off the comments on TikTok. If you want to go comment, everyone, you can go over to YouTube. But it's unhinged on TikTok where I just stopped. And people are saying turn it off anyway. So if you want to comment, you can comment on YouTube. Yeah, go ahead. It's sad for humanity that where we're going when it comes to one another. Everybody wants to push over for illegal immigrations, but you're not even for your neighbor. You're the American citizen. So it's very strange. So I don't know. None of us are arguing only to benefit undocumented immigrants and not to benefit the average working American. Can you name a single policy that I've ever advocated for that said, oh, give this to undocumented immigrants, but do not give this to U.S. citizens? Name one time. So
tell me this: where's the unhingedness come from the comment section that they name call? That's what I'm just asking. For unity or for cohesion, or you're for illegal immigrants, but you're not for somebody that supports Donald Trump. Make that make sense to me.
Yeah. So, I'm confused. Why are you referencing people insulting you in the comment section?
Because it's y'all are the party of tolerance, aren't y'all? You're the most tolerant, inclusive. Isn't that what y'all stand for? Isn't that what y'all pushed or they talked about in the past? Tolerance and inclusivity. Love is love. So my point is y'all say the most hateful things in the comments. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you.
So again, you got insulted.
And I don't care about the comments. They don't hurt my feelings, but I'm just making a statement.
You just randomly brought them up. I don't know why. It sounds like you.
Because I'm trying to make you see my perspective in the matter is, how is it that y'all say Trump is bad, he's doing this to illegal immigrants, but y'all are so mean to your fellow citizen that lives in America? That's what I say. What do you stand for?
You know, it's so frustrating. It's like, I wasn't even the one that's mean to you. And now you're like, oh, dude, you should respond to how these other people were insulting me. Did you hear any of the points I just made?
Yes.
Okay. What points did I just make?
That you're not pushing you weren't pushing a certain policy, but I am just making reference to that you didn't say nothing ugly. That was the comment section. So why am I coming at you like that? So yeah, I get that. However, they follow you.
Literally, Trump does that all the time. Trump insults people all the time. And I'm not holding you accountable for Trump insulting people, specifically just doing that. I would hold you accountable for his broader actions and things like that. And this is your candidate you're voting for. Okay,
I
there are
get that.
Republicans that are rude all the time. There are Republicans that come up here and slur. There are Republicans that don't even engage in argumentation, and they just insult me all the time. I don't hold you accountable for all the other Republicans that do that. I never brought that up in this conversation. Is on your side and voted for Donald Trump. I didn't bring that up.
Just because somebody endorsed somebody on their own regard doesn't make somebody a supporter of that person.
Oh,
I put myself in I just did that. I see what I did there. My point is, okay, let me just rewind. Obviously, they support your side of the aisle. So for them to be that ugly, not you, for them to be that ugly, it's like, when are we ever going to come to, there has to be some type of unity. Did I say, I don't support big government. I don't support big corporations.
Trump is big government. Trump is less unity. Trump is causing more division and hate. If you do not want division, hate, you want more unity, stop supporting Donald Trump. That is literally the best thing you could possibly do for our country to get us on a pathway back towards unity, is stop supporting divisive MAGA ideology, stop supporting bigoted ideology, hateful ideology, right? And we can lead to a better country for this. For us, for everyone.
But the thing is, the rhetoric that I've heard from the divisive rhetoric that I heard was more from your side. So what am I missing? Or why is it like that? Why is one side getting so much negativity about that side, and you're getting, or everybody on your side hates Donald Trump? What do you think? What causes that?
I don't think that there's proportionally more division specifically coming from left-wing individuals. I think that's a ridiculous standpoint. Just because there's people in the comment section that insulted you does not mean that on the left there's more division or more divisive particular mentality. If you join any TikTok live stream that is a debate live stream at this level of people, you're going to have people in the comment section that insult you on either side. If I joined a Republican live where they had 6,000 people in it, there would be people that say that about me in the comment section from the other side. If you go look at the Piers Morgan comment section from when I debated on Piers Morgan, you can see that yourself.
Okay, and I got that. But my question is, why? What do you think is causing that?
That's humans.
But do you think that there's anything that could, do you think that there's anything at play that could cause people to feel that much dislike or distaste for somebody else just because of what they support?
Yeah, that's the inevitable reality of how discourse happens and exists right now. It can get to a better standpoint if there's less divisive ideology that exists within the context of politics. That's why it's so divisive right now. If you want it to be less divisive, you have to actively engage in actions yourself to make it less divisive. When you come up on my live stream and you called me a paid propagandist, okay, just because I disagree with you, do you think that causes more division? Yes. Okay, so you cannot sit up here and talk to us and lecture us about division and what's going to lead to division, and we're causing greater levels of division just because people insulted you in the comment section. Yet when you came up on the live stream, you were insulting me, calling me a paid propagandist, and doing that very same thing yourself. It is actually ridiculous and ironic.
But the reason why, is it your job though? Honestly, that's the only reason why I said that.
This is my job, but it doesn't make me a paid propagandist.
But it's your job to do this every day.
This is not propaganda.
That's fine. I'm not knocking it. You're fine. Go ahead.
Wait, but me debating you is not propaganda. How is this propaganda?
But it's your job, though. Is it not your job?
It being my job doesn't mean I'm a paid propagandist.
But okay, but you have a certain assignment that your job is telling you to do. Am I incorrect?
Myself. This is my own job. Okay, I'm self-employed. Okay. I run my own job. I'm just acknowledging that you came up on the live saying that I'm a paid propagandist, and then you're like, oh, well, I want so much more unity. There's so much division in our country. You're the one doing that when you specifically call me a paid propagandist. Literally, we've already talked about this for just disagreeing with you.